see, what does it say here?
All right, this is talking about adding and subtracting, all operations of rational numbers. Adding, subtracting, multiplying and dividing, fractions and decimals. Ooh, this one's a tough one right off the bat. So let's talk a little bit about what we have to do when we add and subtract decimals.
I know, when I add and subtract decimals, I always make sure to line up my decimal points.
So we have to make sure we line up decimal points. What about when you multiply decimals?
When I multiply decimals, if I had an example like 3/10 times 1 4/10, I know that my answer is going to have 2 decimal digits in it, because in the problem there's 2 digits to the right of the decimal point.
Yeah, I always told my students to forget about the decimals in the problem and just multiply like normal. Just multiply as if there were no decimals and then put them in at the end. Alright, so what about, we'll talk about dividing in just a minute, but what about multiplying fractions?
When I multiply fractions, I just multiply straight across, top times top and bottom times the bottom.
Hey, did you do a dance in your class for that?
No, did you?
Yes, of course I did.
Let's see it.
Top times top, bottom times the bottom, work it out. Alright, that's what we did. My students really love dancing.
I'm sure.
Yeah. And so now we have these problems that the box left us. The bomb left us 2 problems to solve.
Alright, let's
The first one is our decimals. We're going to do 8.4 divided by 0.02. I always get confused about which problem or which number goes on the inside.
When it's written like this, I always remember that the first number goes on the inside of the house.
Right? Because that would be the cowboy. And the cowboy goes inside while the horse would want to stay outside. The cowboy walks in front of the horse. Alright, now, you have a problem. You got decimals outside your house.
I don't want to divide by a decimal, so I need to try to make this a whole number. How would I do that?
I think we got to move it over twice. Just move it, bump it over, or move it.
Look, now this is a whole number, but this is still a decimal, and I just multiplied this number by 100, but I didn't multiply this number by anything.
Then we probably should move that one too.
There's this big empty space here, though. How are we going to deal with that?
Anytime you have empty spaces behind a decimal, that means there's zeros there.
Alright, so now instead of saying 8 4/10 divided by 2/100, it says 840 divided by 2. That's a much easier problem to
Much easier problem. Alright, so let's work that out real quick.
Alright, 2 goes into 8 4 times. So I put my 4 up on top. 4 times 2 is 8, so I subtract and get 0. Going to bring down that 4. 2 goes into 4 2 times. 2 times 2 is 4. Subtract.
Awesome, the answer is 42.
42? That doesn't seem right.
Well, you got 42, you got 0 left over.
But there's an empty space up here, and there's our decimal over there. Oh, I still need to bring down this 0 right here.
Of course.
And 2 goes into 0 0 times.
So our answer is 420. Alright, so we got to make sure we put that under our answer document to put into the bomb. Alright, so 420 is the answer for the first problem. What about the second problem? What about the second problem? The second problem is dividing fractions. Dividing fractions, we have 3/7 divided by 9/11.
Well, when I'm multiplying fractions, I multiply straight across. 3 times 9 and 7 times 11.
This is dividing.
But with dividing fractions, I don't think
that's easy as pie.
I don't think I can just divide straight across. So
No.
I need a different method here.
But don't worry, it's easy as pie. You just flip the second number and multiply. So I'm going to keep this 3/7 the same. Here's my 3/7, and I'm going to flip my second number. Do you remember what that's called?
A reciprocal.
A reciprocal. All right, so I need to flip it to find the reciprocal, and then instead of dividing, I multiply.
Right.
Now, as you said, multiplying fractions, we multiply straight across. 3 times 11 is 33. 7 times 9 is 63. There you go, we got 33 over 63. That must be our answer.
I don't know if the bomb would count that as a correct answer because it looks to me like 33 and 63 have a common factor. We could probably simplify that.
Let's see, 33, 63. Looking on my math chart doesn't go that high. So what could I look at? Oh, here's a 3 and a 9. That 3 and 9 I know can both be divided by 3. So I bet our answer can be divided by 3 also. So divide by 3, divide by 3, and we get 11 over 21. All right, let's put those answers into our bomb and find out if it works.
All right.
All right, here goes nothing. Here's our answers.
Bazinga.
We got them correct.